Hey there, I'm Terrie, and I'm the intuitive healer for folks who have anxiety and want to access their soul evolution and intuition. There's more than meets the eye here as we chat and hang out in these episodes that have spiritual, esoteric, multidimensional, somatic, quantum techniques, tools, and tips to help you get unstuck and move you forward in your day-to-day life. So join me in discovering your path to help you clear anxiety of the past, align your energy to the present, and create your new future. Well, hello there. Fancy meeting you here. So the past few mornings, I've had this song in my head that I can't get out. And a lot of times when that happens, it's my clairaudience, not sentience, audience that is activated. So here's the song, Maestro. No, I'm not going to actually play it. I'll sing it, kind of, sort of. I'm not saying it'll be on tune, but it kind of got me thinking. So I can't remember the band or like who sings it, but I think most of you guys will find it sounding familiar. And it's the song that goes, "Who are you? Who?" Which I think is also the theme to some CSI show. So I'm like, all right. But I can't get it out of my head. So I started to think, okay, this has got to be some sort of message, whether it's for someone, whether it's for me, who knows? But it did get me thinking. It got me thinking about who am I, right? So when we look at things and when we think about who we are, we identify with physical reality, right? With the material world, right? So for example, I'm Terrie. Like that's my human's name, Terrie. I live in the San Fernando Valley. I live in the state of California, right? I drive a Honda. I have a dog. We think who we are is the material world, the physical reality, right? Which is true, right? Because there's different levels of truth, yes? So all of that is true, right? I have an income, or one of the ways I earn money is by helping people manage their anxiety so that they can access their intuition, right? It's an identification. That's who I am, right? So we all have that. You know, some of us have girlfriends or boyfriends. I am so-and-so and I have a boyfriend, right? I am so-and-so, I have a girlfriend. It's all part of that identification with the physical reality, the material world around us. So anything that our senses, our physical human senses, can access, right? Because the brain is the processor of the energy, and energy is light waves, right? So everything is energy, whether our brain processes it into one of our physical senses or not. So for example, like what you're listening to right now, this podcast has sound frequencies that your brain is processing auditorially. Is that a word? Auditorially, whatever. I'll make up my own language, right? So your brain is processing those light waves auditorily through your ears so you can hear a sound. So just because you don't see, see, touch, taste, smell, or hear light waves or energy doesn't mean that they don't exist, right? Like the Wi-Fi signals, right? So our identification, or how we think, or who, really, it's the who we think we are, is the material world, or part of the material world, or dependent or based on the physical reality of the material world. But we know that that's not true because we have a soul, right? And there are things like Wi-Fi signals that just because your brain doesn't process the information in a sense of any sort doesn't mean it does not exist, right? So when people say, oh, there's only 5 senses, I call bullshit on that, because just a Wi-Fi signal will prove that just because your brain doesn't process it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? So there's a lot of, like X-rays, right? Microwaves, all of that. Our brain doesn't process it, but yet it exists, right? But who we are, we have this tendency to identify as the material world, right? So it's funny because I'll hear that song, or I hear that song, who are you? Who? And it's not letting me go. Like, it's really, really holding on to me. I think what it's trying to do is get me to think, and now that I'm talking to you, maybe you to think about who you are. Who are you? Right? Am I that person who only exists in physical reality, or do we also have access or are part of non-physical reality? So for example, emotions or feelings. So emotion really stands for energy and motion. That's what the E is for, right? Emotion, right? So do we have feelings, which are emotions? Do we have thoughts, right? Those are non-physical energies. And they're in frequency and vibration, right? So are we just this person, this human, this earth suit? Or are we more than that, right? And not only that, the way energy works is energy influences energy. So if we were just material objects, right? Flesh, bone, organs, without any consciousness, which is enlightened energy, it's spiritual energy, it's divine energy with intelligence. Or are we just, this human who has an earth suit made of bones and meat and skin, and some people call them meat sacks. For some reason, I find that really disrespectful. So I call it an earth suit, because this is what we are wearing while we're on the planet Earth, right? Which is all about the physical reality and the material world. But are we more than that? Right? Of course we are. We're consciousness. It just so happens that the consciousnesses that we are take the various forms of these humans, right? The humans are just the earth suits for those consciousnesses, right? So who are you? Are you a person who is able to influence other people through your non-physical energy? Because the law of energy is energy influences energy. There are several laws about how energy works. And all energy is a light wave that is made of subatomic particles, right? Like molecules, ions, etc., etc. And those very, very small, tiny molecules, the subatomic molecules, they move in certain patterns at a certain pace. That's your vibration and your frequency. So they move, super fast, super slow, whatever, and whatever, pace that they move. And in whatever pattern that they move in, their design, their shape, that's what's going to create the physical form, right? So whatever makes you or how you look, whatever makes you you in terms of the way you look is the design of the subatomic particles and how fast they're moving, right? So they're going to be different. Like I totally look different than you. You look different than me, right? But it's these subatomic particles that are behaving in these ways. And so your human brain is a processor of that energy, of that light wave that has data and information on it. And so therefore, your brain processes it through your sight, for example, with your human eyeballs, right? So you look a certain way. Like I look like Terrie, right? I sound like Terrie. I feel like Terrie too, because we each have our own energetic signature, right? So energy influences energy. So are you just a meat sack? Ugh, I hate saying that. But I know that you guys get it if I say it like that. You know, are you just this earth suit? Or is there more to you than just your bones, your flesh, your muscles, your organs, right? How do you make someone else feel? Right? So all of that is non-physical. That is not of the material world. That is not physical reality. And most of us live in physical reality. But we can actually live in physical and non-physical reality. And that's the beauty of the design of the earth suit, is that it acts almost as if it's a filter for energy, right? And we can go into so much about the energetic frequencies and the pacing and the patterning and all of that. But just to make this simple, easy, and digestible, how are you identifying? So if you're in a situation where you're having an experience, and that experience is a very tangible, palpable experience, you're going to identify as that experience, or even just as a feeling, because that's what we're taught how to do. We think we are that, right? But the truth is that we're more than that. So who are you? Are you more than just the body that you're in? Are you more than just the job that you have? Are you more than just the way you look? Who are you? Just a thought. Well, our time in this now moment together has ended, but another now moment is on its way. Thank you so much for joining me in this human journey and listening to this podcast, The Portal with Terrie Huberman. I sure hope you're getting something out of it. I'm here to help you clear anxiety from the past, align your energy into the present, and help you create your future. My prayer for you is to find the peace and calmness in any given now moment so you can recognize when blessings are afoot and you get to choose your next adventure. Be curious and stay connected. You can always find me at terriehuberman.com. Bye now.